All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Watch Me Mix. We're getting started on these strings right here. And as I said, I'm really just going to do some panning, maybe some light EQ, probably put some verb on them. And let's take a look. I'm going to go through them one by one and we'll sort of see what each one is doing. And I'll talk about why I'm putting them where I'm putting them. So we got this one here. This one here. This one here. So these are all three are the same, just three different mics. So it looks like it's like a string section, three different mics, but same performance. Now we got this one here. Similar, but looks like it's been processed somehow. Okay, so these it looks like these are mics on cellos. These might be VLN or VLA. They might be different abbreviations for mics. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments, but I'm not sure what those are. But I think I'm kind of suspecting that this is all the same performance of a string section. So really just one performance straight through, and just different mics. So let's first look at these cellos. So as I'm listening to this, I'm listening to just the cello, and seeing how loud that is and sort of what its character is, because those the higher the violins or even just the higher cello parts in that string section are in these other mics. So these are the frequencies that are most important in this mic. Let's copy that EQ over to the one next to it. I'm going to put a light compression on both of these to try to tame some of these peaks here just a little bit. I think there's actually a strings preset, maybe? No. Thought I remember seeing one. We'll use the classic VCA. We're going to have a pretty aggressive ratio, but a very specific threshold. Yeah, so you can see it's just taking a couple dB off during that one spot. And let's copy that compressor over. This one, I think, needs to have a slightly smaller threshold because you can see it's quieter. I'm talking about this one right here. So let's listen to that one. Talking specifically about this part right here, you can see it's quieter than this part. So I want this to compress, really not at all, but when it hits this louder part, just take a couple dB off. Yep, just that one little hit there takes 1 or 2 dB off. Good. So that's good on these guys. And then I think what I will do is I'm just going to volume match them to each other real quick. Like loudness match them. A good trick for doing that is going to be, because they both are sharing a lot of the same character, what I'm going to do is pan this one all the way left, pan this one all the way right, and then I'm going to look at the master output. And I can see which track is louder. I can also hear it. But you can see they're actually pretty close. Left one needs to come up a little bit, so we'll bring that one up. so we're going to do that, and then we'll put them both back on top of each other, and then I just want to listen to that. So now we know they are around the same loudness level, and we'll just hear them together. Okay, cool. So I'm just sort of listening, playing around listening. So I think they actually sound better the way that they came in, which would make sense because we get the close mic and the far mic, and there's no reason they need to be the same loudness level. It's just an exercise I wanted to go through just to see. So I'm going to put them both back to unity gain, 0, and then I'll just pull them back. So now this is the same level that they came in. They've just been EQ'd and compressed. And I'm just going to pan them a little bit, just a little bit, so they're not on top of each other. That's all. But keep them more or less center. That's good. Yep, just like that. A little bit of space. Okay, so now we've got all these other guys in here. So I'm going to start with whatever one sounds the most present. So I like this. So let's take this one, we'll keep that one center, and then let's spread these guys out. Maybe 15, these two. Let's just give these two some stereo width. And let's listen to it with the cellos that I already did. Okay, and now let's listen to these. I think I'm going to make these guys the wide ones. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just for balance, we're going to take this middle one. Seems to be the most present of the middle three here. We're going to take this middle one and we're going to mix it opposite this one, which is at 15 right. We'll go, 15 left. So we're going to go 15 right. Listen to these together. Take the one on the right. Loudness match it. It's pretty good. Maybe go up like 1. Cool. And now we're going to take these two. And these are going to be the wide ones. They're going to go... Let's go 30. Cool. So I'm just going to do some quick EQ on them, but I just wanted to mention real quickly sort of my thought process behind what I've just did here. So I'll let it play and I'll talk through basically what I did. None of this is, right or wrong, but it's just what I decided to do. So I took this one. That one to me sounded the most present, so I just left it center. I took these two, which were of these three, which are the sort of closer mics. These two were the less present, and so I put them opposite each other. So I'm kind of treating this as one group. This is my sort of room group. This one is, I felt like was sort of like the least roomy. So actually it should be, I made a mistake here. We're going to do this 5 and 5. So this is sort of like my main close mic, and then its two counterparts. This is sort of like my main room mic, and then its two counterparts for the wideness. So it's kind of like I have this group here, and I have this group here, and then we have the cellos. Okay, just because the cellos are at 5, maybe I'll put my two quote-unquote main ones at 10. This is sort of a little bit arbitrary, like, whether it's 5 or 10, just a little bit arbitrary. But it's important to me because when I see this, if I'm mixing it later on, editing later on, when I see this, it could be days, weeks, months later that I take a look at this, and I can quickly get a good idea of what I've done here or what has been done. It just is helpful to be organized. I could also color code them or label them and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So let's take a listen. And before I mess with EQ, let's just make a track stack. And let's throw it to that darker verb. I'm going to call this dark verb. There we go. Cool. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to listen to the whole group, everything I've done except those strings, and we're going to mix them in. Oh, so notice that I need more gain here. So select these tracks, bring them up to as I can without going over 0, which most of them are the same level, which is good. It means the original mix was good. Okay. This one needs to come down. Good. All right. Now I should be able to control them with this pretty easily. Cool. I'm going to throw an EQ in here and get some top end, some string noise. Cool. I'm liking this. So real quick here, let's just get these reverse ones in. This is just like a special effect. What happened if I just pan them all the way like this? Be interesting. I think that works great. Let's send them to our dark verb. Just working with these up here. Cool. I'm just going to throw a quick limiter on here because we're starting to push this a little bit. I'll use the adaptive limiter. Output ceiling, I want, let's say, minus 1.5 for now. Gain all the way down. Just so I don't peak on this master output for now. Cool. So that's a good place to stop for this episode. And in the next episode, we're going to get into this big old stack of vocals here. So that'll probably take a couple episodes, but we're in a good place here. Hope you're having fun.
Childlike wonder, almost gone under. Greatest no longer, and no younger. Hurry to make it, and at least decided to take part in the machine.
Catch you next time.